Trinidad and Tobago, the most corrupt criminal enterprise in the history of America, was the Al Capone regime. Al Capone organization was involved in everything: bootlegging, prostitution, gambling, murder, political corruption, extortion, everything. Everything. You know what brought Al Capone down? It wasn't the drug running, the bootlegging, the prostitution, the human trafficking, the child selling. It wasn't all of that. You know what brought Al Capone down? An examination of his organization's financial records. The IRS got Al Capone for tax evasion. Simple. Tax evasion. When that happened, half of the organization went back to Italy, got deported. Some of them run, some of them got deported. But most importantly, an examination of the financial records of Al Capone organization dismantled the largest criminal empire in American history. No, make of that what you will. But I have always said, my uncles have always said, PNM people, Ashton Ford has implied, inferred, as well as Ferdy Ferreira, this PNM is not the PNM of Dr. Eric Williams. For me, Dr. Eric Williams was no saint at all. But this PNM, the one created by Keith Christopher Rowley, is not the PNM that you all heard of from your fathers and your grandfathers, your grandmothers and all that. It's not. This is a PNM that has morphed into a criminal organization at the acquiescence of the 1% in Trinidad and Tobago. It is clear. No one can tell me an organization with a history like the PNM could be building could have an edifice costing between $108 and $18 million to $150 million, and they're running from producing records. Now imagine the scale of that. Imagine you or me, average people, putting up a house somewhere, and the government come and ask you, you know how you had to scramble, you had to keep you keep your receipts, where you buying the hardware, where you buy it here, where you get here, what your family give you here, you go keep all of that. $118 million edifice. And they can't produce records until now. They buying distraction, political wins. No, the UNC can't witch hunt anybody, political or otherwise. All in laugh at us, PNM, lambast us, because we not no house, we not no home, we rent in here, we move from RNZ, we move here, we move all over the place. But here's the beautiful thing about that. When I fly out of the country and come back in, nobody ain't waiting for me at the airport to serve me no order, to serve me no papers about, and ask me to account for nothing for UNC, or to ask Annie Roberts to account for something, or ask the Honorable Prime Minister. So we good. When time comes, and we can raise money from the party, legally, honestly, we build a house, a UNC house, if we had to build a UNC house. What we're not doing is taking drug money, taking money from contractors to get them kickbacks in order to pay, because them things can't go on the books. Kickbacks can't go on your books. And that is why the PNM in trouble. Balize House, which I predicted long ago, will be forfeited. But more than that, I predict a lot of defections, resignations from the PNM now. Because there's a serious thing. Papers have been served. The courts are independent, and they will determine. Bring your receipts, Foster Cummins. Alrari, I ain't hearing from you. How come Keith Christopher Rowley, who have anything to do with the 1%, or anything to do with Venezuela, used to have a big press conference going up at the house, everybody coming. Kid Rowley make a press conference now and defend their party. It's you, that house, that Balize house was being built under you, Kid Christopher Rowley. It's you had them in trouble now. You are first to come in. you are first to come in ducking out the airplane. Had a look now. Who coming for him? You are Marvin Gonzalez and them worried about who going to knock out if little boy Blue knocking at the door. While you abandon ship like the rat you are. You abandon the PNM ship like the rat you are. And that is why my uncles and them make you out. My uncles and them make you out. He is not Dr. Eric Williams. He was never a servant of the 1%. The 1% serve him. But not you. You're a servant. I'll leave all over that Trinidad and Tobago as far as that concerned. Balize House will soon be a ghost town, if it's not already. I'll leave you all over this for the World Cup. All they running around with all the Argentina t-shirt. That's alright. Back with your one. But don't tell me not to mix politics with sport. You can run around with what t-shirt you have on your back. If that t-shirt representing the blood of our ancestors, you could do that if you want. But don't tell me don't mix politics with sport. Don't have no jackass like Vibes Cartel from Jamaica. Look who Jamaica represent. Look who represented with prophets like Bob Marley and Gregory Isaacs and all them for Garnet Silk and them. Look who we have Vibes Cartel telling me or telling people don't mix politics with sports. Did you know that Ghana just put a resolution before the United Nations to have slavery recognized as the most egregious, inhumane act ever to be perpetrated on human beings in the history of this world? Every single country in the world voted to recognize that resolution. Chattelized slavery, how they had our ancestors as cattle, the beatings, the torture, the rapes, the induced abortions, the forced mating of our ancestors, brothers with sisters, just to produce more slaves, more enslaved Africans, all of that. You want me to forget that? Because of football? By fire burn all here. Fire burn all here. Vibes Cartel. And who would fight Vibes Cartel? Fire burn all here. You know, it's only 3 countries vote against that resolution from Ghana. 3 countries. The United States, the genocidal state of Israel, and Argentina. A country that exterminated most of their black citizens. Force them to go on the front lines in wars, kill them all by poisoning them, putting diseases in their communities without help, exterminated them. They called it blanqueamiento, a whitening of the population. If you want to forget that what happened 100, 200 years ago, okay, that is your business. But don't tell me to forget it. And certainly don't tell me to back no country that have that history. And if you don't want to look at that history, look at what happened now, in the present. Argentina refused, along with Israel and the United States, to recognize slavery as the most inhumane act ever perpetrated on the people of this world by anyone. Slavery. Imagine a country like Argentina can't recognize that. Well, Israel is not a country. Israel is a satanic, demonic state, just like their mentors. But Argentina, only putting on a jersey and running wrong, and then want to come and tell people at the UNC about racism. Check on yourself. And Vibes Cartel, don't tell me about don't mix politics with sport. You do your sports, man. You back Argentina. You put it upon your jersey and run around. But don't tell me don't mix politics with sports. I mix politics with everything. Everything. Because that is how life is. Enjoy the game. I'm hoping that these racist Argentinians lose, of course. That's all I would say. It is what it is. Trinidad and Tobago. Love in the house. All the time.